got kids and stuff, and he's sober. And this young kid comes to him to offer him a job a bounty hunting job to help him kill these cowboys who raped these prostitutes, which sounds a bit redundant. But so, but he's sober and he's not the same guy anymore, and he's like clumsy and he's old, and you know what I mean, he can hardly shoot a gun anymore. And all the way through the film, he's just kind of blundery, and you just think this guy's nobody. But everybody keeps talking about his reputation, and the way it builds up to the end, and the payoff at the end, it is fucking epic.
Wasn't that film from 1992, 1993 somewhere?
It's a 90s film, but maybe I've got an erection for the 90s. I don't know. You know, maybe.
I remember it.
Yeah, I love that film though.
Vagina.
My all-time favorite horror film is The Thing, though.
The Thing?
The Thing, John Carpenter. I love that film.
Yeah, so many good movies.
Yeah. Well, you've got a couple that you can at least watch that you haven't seen. You know.
Yeah, I'm already doubting Seraphim Falls, Unforgiven, Invincible.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen The Terror?
The what?
The Terror.
The Terror?
Season 1, no, not Season 2. Don't do Season 2.
No.
You haven't seen The Terror? Whoa. Let's slow down here. Although...
Just offended him, apparently.
Oh, well, no, hold on. Let me go sideways a bit, like a crab. It is period, so it's like... It's set like probably late 1800s, I think. But it blends historical fact with kind of a bit of horror fiction. You know what I mean? So they've took something that really happened in real life, you know, about 100 years ago, and tacked on an idea that kind of goes with it. You know what I mean? It fits almost. It's a pretty cool idea how they've done it. So the Terror is the name of one of two ships that England's using to chart a course around the Arctic Circle to get to China. You know, the trade route, or India or something. They're trying to forge a trade route through North Atlantic, and they get stuck in ice. And this is something that really happened to these two ships, and they went missing in real life historically and never got found. And this series, it's like 8 part. It's not like a documentary, though. It's an actual, like, you know, high budget series. It gives another spin on why they went missing, and it turns out that someone attacks them up in Arctic, and it's massive, and it's picking them all off one by one, and it's really brutal.
So 2 seasons of that.
There's 2, but don't watch season 2 because they're independent of each other. So season 1 is The Terror, which focuses on the ships, and season 2 is based in Japan, and that one's not very good. That's about some ghost or something. But the first season is fucking really good. It's got a couple of. Have you seen The Expanse, Frida?
Yep.
You know the guy who's like, I think he's one of the leaders of the Belters. The white guy.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters in The Terror. So you'll recognize some of the actors. You know the guy, the King of the North, the King of the, you know the White Walk, not the White, is it the White Walkers? The Wildlings, is it, Beyond the Wall in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
You know the guy who plays the king of them, the leader of them.
Yes, I know. I don't know his name.
Yeah, he's one of the captains of them ships as well in The Terror. So there's some pretty. You recognize some of the actors in there.
You know what I had? I was watching Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And before I watched Stranger Things, I watched the whole Lord of the Rings series.
Oh damn!
Everything, just Lord of the Rings, and then
Straight to the Hobbit.
Yeah, and I was watching Stranger Things, and at a moment that Bob guy comes into place, and season 2, I guess, and I just recognize him from somewhere.
Samwise. Mr. Frodo!
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't place him.
You can't do that, Mr. Frodo!
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Good old Lord of the Things.
Yeah, great movie.
I did a marathon of that Lord of the Rings with one of my friends. We started early morning. We got loads of fucking junk food, and we just sat and did all the special editions of Lord of the Rings. Whew, man, you feel weird when you've done that. If you do it in one sitting, it feels so weird when you do that. It's
Yeah,
like a massive. It's like an adventure.
Yeah, I remember doing that with another series, not with Lord of
Yeah,
the
you and your
Rings.
mum. What? Hey, I took your mum on an adventure, Rory. I
Mhm.
was the Lord of her fucking ring for one night.
Just the one of the rings
No, just her one ring, the brown one.
to rule them all.
She fucking lived it.
Her rings like the Eye of Sauron.
I pulled her hair and called her Smeagol.
Well,
Go on.
What
you got to say to that?
it's not
Just
very
Smeagol.
nice.
I just Smeagoled your mum. What?
What else would you do? I've done that with like Futurama, and I've done that with
To be honest, not very often have I done that.
tried to do it with Rick and Morty before, but I just couldn't do it.
It's a lot. It's a big job doing shit. Really great.
Fucking grease gun. Grease gun.
Greasy gun.
Shut
Fredo's got more than he bargained for now. I about filled up your hard drive. He's still clicking it down low. Click, click, click.
Yep. Invincible already downloaded. Love and Dead 1 and 2. But I'm gonna finish The Walking Dead first.
How much of that you got to go?
I watched it all over again, and I'm now in season 2. Season 10, episode 7.
You know where I stopped Walking Dead, and I kind of like needed to go back. Is after you've seen past where I'm on about. So Negan,
Yeah.
when he gets imprisoned,
Yeah.
that's the season I ended on at the end
9.
of that. 9, yeah. So I guess I could carry on from 9 actually. Then, I suppose.
Yeah. No, you have to watch 9 from the start again.
From the start.
Yeah, I guess from 9. Season 9.
Sorry, season 9, the beginning of the continuation.
In the half of season 9, there's happening something when he's in prison.
I'm confused. So, which season is the end? Which season end is it where Rick beats Negan and they imprison him? Is that 8? The end of 8?
Gonna watch. I'm gonna look it up for you.
It's very kind of you.
Doei. Yeah.
Doei.
Doei.
You off?
Who's going to bed? Who's going to bed? Oh, someone's definitely going to bed. Who's going to bed, Frida?
My wife.
Oh, doei.
Doei,
Yeah,
see you in 5 minutes.
It's
Oh, I knew it was.
the end of season 8.
So season 9 is the one I need to watch. Yeah, okay. So I'm on season 9 basically.
Over there.
And I do remember season 8 pretty well.
Yeah. So watch this from 9.
What about Fear the Walking Dead? You seen them ones yet?
Yep.
What do you
You
think?
owe me
From the
one.
beginning?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
I watched it for 2 or 3 seasons. Didn't finish it.
Yeah, same as me. I think I got about 3.
So many things to watch still. Also have to watch Homeland.
We
Oh,
took a week off.
My older brother watches that and he's been recommending it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's really great, man.
What's that?
Homeland. Oh shit, man. It's with Captain Winners in the main role.
There's a few I like though. I like Billions. I like Blacklist. I like Person of Interest.
Homeland is fucked up. It's crazy because
Yeah.
it's real time happening. So it's possible, and that's the
Uh-huh.
weird thing about it. The terrorist shizzle.
Shizzlers.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced actually at first,
Yeah.
and I started watching it. It was very exciting. And then I watched season 2, and then I at season 3. I waited for the whole season just to download it and watch it in one go.
Yeah.
My nephew called me. Did you see that part?
He spoiled it.
He spoiled it, and I never
Wow.
watched it again. Yeah.
And you never spoke to him again.
No, yeah, I did, but I never watched the series again.
That's
I never-
so
That
worse.
was so shit
Damn.
that he did that. He didn't know that I was collecting it.
That's
He
bad.
thought I was watching it every week, one episode.
Yeah, I've had people do that before, and you just like, fuck you!
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen
So,
seen Umbrella Academy?
Yep.
Have you seen the other one, Doom, what I would probably call the low budget version of Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Doom Patrol?
That's one of their scouts there.
What about? I'll tell you one that I didn't think I'd like, but I ended up kinda liking it.
That's an enemy medic out there.
Something Neptune Rising or something? Jupiter Rising? What's it called? I mean,
Uranus
think
Rising.
it's-
I'm sure it
it's
was.
fucking your mum's Tatooine's Rising.
Tata. What? Please educate
Yeah.
me.
That's the planet that fucking Luke came from.
From the who?
Luke Skywalker, mate. Nah,
Yeah, Neptune Rising.
I think it's Neptune. Yeah, Neptune. No, it's Summit Rising. Not Mercury Rising.
Cholesterol Rising? Inflation Rising?
Superhero series. Superhero TV series. I think it's an Amazon one. No, it's Jupiter's Legacy.
That medic over there.
What?
Jupiter's Legacy.
I haven't seen it.
It's a low budget version of The Boys,
Over there.
but it's not low budget, but like a bit of a lower tier. But it's still it caught my interest after an episode or two when there's certain things happen that were kind of cool.
Yeah, I really liked Sons of Anarchy actually.
Yeah. Mr. Robot. See Mr. Robot?
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Mayans? The Mayans. MC Mayans. It's from the same director of Sons of Anarchy. He's the
Look
Mexican
over there.
enemy motor group that's in the series.
You know, to be honest, I haven't seen I've
What?
seen I've seen like an episode or something.
Oh,
It's
go
one of the-
stand in the corner and shit.
I know, but you know when there's like
Spotted.
there's a
One of
period
their
there's a
assault
period where
troopers.
loads of good stuff in like series and stuff, and you don't know which one to fucking watch.
Oh, you still just put it on your watch list, man.
It's definitely on there. It's definitely on there.
The same Dexter gonna come back again.
Yeah, but apparently it's kind of a reboot. I've heard.
Yeah, have you seen the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. I really like that series.
Yeah, Dark Passenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprise, motherfucker. The
Yeah.
famous line came from that.
Really?
Yeah,
Right,
Duke.
motherfucker, yeah.
Is it Dukes? Dukes.
Dukes,
Someone
yeah.
should make a list of like educate yourself where your memes came from, like something like that's like probably a. They should teach that in school now.
They will do eventually, don't worry. There'll be fucking university courses on it.
The University of Memes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dexter was fucking badass in that series.
Yeah.
But it got a bit weird though towards the end with his sister.
Yeah, it was fucked up. They fucked it up.
Don't ever really liked that. So I'm glad that season 2 is just totally doing away with all that.
You know, when walking, when I want to say when Walking Dead, when watching
Porn.
the Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
I really hated his wife.
Oh,
In
Skylar,
the-
annoying as fuck.
In the
Is
yeah,
that
but
Frank's
it's
wife
just
or no way?
such
That's
good acting.
Yeah, she does a good job of being annoying.
I like
yeah,
the Frank guy,
really.
the cop. He just was so confident, but so sort of clueless at the same time, you know?
Did you
Yeah.
watch Breaking Bad, Rory? Are you lying?
Fuck off.
Did I just catch you out?
Fuck off. Here,
I caught you out,
no,
didn't I?
no. I'm going to answer your question with a photo.
But you don't watch things. You talk. I remember years ago we were having a conversation. I tried to bring up films, and you were like, "I don't fucking like films. I don't like people who talk about films." Racist. So, have you seen Breaking Bad, Rory? I think I remember you saying you did actually. Or did you watch it? Were you GF?
No. Watched it ages ago.
Alright. Been a while then. Been a while.
Have you watched The Rookie, Chini?
The Rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, now it sounds too generic for me to remember that, but I bet it sounds familiar. Okay.
You know the guy from
Nathan
Suicide
Fillion.
Squad?
Nathan
that
Fillion. He plays Detachable Arm Boy or something.
oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. I just realised one of the photos that I went to go take, I took too quickly, but I'll just explain it to you anyway.
Oh shit. You know, I hadn't seen The Rookie. It's one of the ones that slipped under my radar, I think.
I was actually surprised by it. That's what's so funny. It's so good.
A comedy.
Yeah, it's more than a comedy. It's a little bit in between action, comedy.
Is it
It's
like
just-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where it's kind of like semi-documentary kind of thing? Almost.
I don't know.
Have
it's
you
just
seen
very
Brooklyn
thick-
Nine-Nine?
Yeah, parts
That's
of
for
it.
queers.
Yeah,
I sent you a thingy, Chin.
What? No way. Where's all this?
So the first one's in the living room.
These are on your walls?
Yeah.
What's that one there? Undefeated. Mayweather vs. Hatton.
Went to
How
that.
come you got that? You went to that?
Yeah, ticket in the middle, signed.
Scottish Cup final? Damn. Signed by you?
I got Manny Pacquiao. Wait, which one are you looking at there?
And now I'm looking at Manny Pacquiao now.
Mayweather. Got Mayweather on that one.
What, is he signed it?
Yeah.
How do you get him to sign it?
Ah, you just get in the right queue.
just
But
queue
the
up.
one that's blurred that you can't see is like it's from Pulp Fiction, but they're holding bananas instead of guns.
How much of them signed posters worth, you think?
Probably a lot now, to be honest with you.
It's not because it's not just that they're signed. It's that the poster
Ticket.
came from that fight
Yeah,
as well.
and the ticket. It's a full set.
Shit, I'm
Got
impressed.
three.
I don't know what's more impressive, the Walter White in his fucking hazmat suit.
Don't judge a book by its stick.
So that's why you were so upset, because you're like, I sleep next to Walter White. Alright, I take it back, Fucking
He's
hell.
better.
Jeez. Leave me alone. Stop bashing me.
A mate of mine's got quite a rich dad took us to Vegas because he knew I like boxing from a young age.
What are you?
Yeah.
But I think, I might be swearing saying this out loud, but I think personally that the golden age of boxing's gone. Boxing right now is kind of boring.
Especially with the fucking pole and that, it's just an insult.
Yeah, it's just fucking, it's because MMA is so good. So you think about like what drives boxing to be good? It's the young generation of boxers, isn't it? You know, they're all more interested in UFC and Bellator. Why would they be boxers instead? It's where the money is, isn't it, and the fame. So boxing's dying a death, but boxing is so good.
Yeah. Especially as a sort of euphoric sport or like an action sport. It's like
It's a
the most action sport they can get, kind of.
It's more of a civilized sport, really.
Yeah.
From
No, when you start to view it like that instead of being like,
Well, it's Michael Wing brain, it's rules, you know, it's fists. It's not fucking elbows,
I stand by
knees,
my statement
strangling.
before, like, see a football is still a fast-paced game, but only because the players are so good at it. Can't get more fast-paced than throwing punches at each other.
Although, have you seen some of these modern boxers and the way they move? Fucking hell. They're like fucking Neo from Matrix.
Got to
Well,
MMA for a bit, but
It's like the Mayweather influence or something. Mayweather's defense is crazy.
Hey boys, I'm gonna call it a night.
Alright, mate, you following the wife up to bed?
Yep.
I know how that goes, mate. She'll be fucking staring fucking laser beam through the floor at you.
It's not stayed that late.
Like fucking, what's he called? Fucking Homeland. Oh, is it Homelander from fucking The Boys?
The boys, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking giving you demon eyes.
No, I have to wake up at 6, man.
Got on your bike and go to work, is it?
Oh, because
Yeah,
it's in
yeah,
Holland, I get it.
I guess so, yeah.
No, he told us about this before. I wasn't being racist.
Well, no, well, a lot of people cycle in Holland.
Yeah, they do.
It's like a national.
That Dutch
pastime.
Grand Prix, by the way, that looked like a fucking party.
Yeah, I was there yesterday.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
Oh, sweet man. Why don't show me some photos? You must have taken some photos.
I,
Sorry, it didn't happen.
Leave the man alone. He can't be doing.
I didn't
Look,
take any photos.
he's a bad
so-
influence. Don't listen to him.
You didn't take any photos. At least
No,
tell me you
why-
touched Max.
What?
At least tell me you touched Max. The
No,
hero,
I
Super Max.
cannot touch Max from the grandstand. Cannot do that.
You don't have one of them paddock passes.
You just start learning the farms, mate.
Actually, I have to be honest. At the moment the race got started, I was already
Cunted.
almost drunk.
Well, that looked like the whole place, to be honest. The fucking place looked like a party, man.
Yeah, when was the seeding lap, the warm-up lap? It was
Yeah.
only orange smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
What is this shit?
Me and the girlfriend were watching it, being like, "We have to go. We have to go." Because I telling her Spa's the one that I want to go to, but then,
Yeah, my colleague was in Spa.
oh, that's
Yeah.
just a disaster.
Yeah, it just got off. And, yeah, that was great. We went on bike actually to Sanford.
Yeah, it looked like everybody else. That's what made me think of you and your bike there. To be honest, was a photograph of like a traffic jam of people leaving that circuit on a bike, and they probably have to cycle 100 kilometers, but it's flat, so it's nothing. They probably fucking...
No, I didn't have to cycle 100 kilometers. I was at my sister's place.
Oh, how
We
cheap.
went from their
Shows you how
place
much you
to.
love Rory pants.
I have to admit, I'm a wee bit jealous. I've been wanting to go for a Grand Prix for years. I think that's the one I want to go. I'll come next year. I'll come visit you and your sister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Be careful, like the way that he emphasised sister there.
Don't worry, I'll make up. I'll make up for the rent. Anyway, that was cheap. No, I didn't. Fucking love watching that.
It's funny. I don't worry about my sister actually. So
She
she
fat.
can take care of herself. No,
Oh right, okay.
Is she younger or older than you?
she's 2 years younger than me.
Well,
But
Let me
she's
just-
doing Thai boxing for 32 years.
ah fuck. All right, okay, we'll leave her alone. Shit.
So don't mess with her.
I reckon I
just
could
start
get her number.
I will just start to lick my eyebrows as you said her age. Fuck.
Yeah, don't do it.
Is she single?
No,
Oh, she's married.
she's married. She has 2 sons.
Not getting bored of shit.
Nope. It's funny to
Just
see
ask for a
when
friend. What are you saying?
the sons are getting. The oldest son is 13 now, so
Wow.
you get a little bit. How do you call it? He can kick his daddy's ass. It's good
I'm
to
gonna
see.
say they're not learning fucking boxing and shit, are they?
No, they don't like it. They started Thai boxing from young age, but they don't like it. So
It's gonna
That's
be painful though.
yeah, it is.
It's not nice on the old chins.
Ich bin bei dir, Soldat.
No, it's funny to see that that mommy kicks daddy and the son's asses.
There's
all
a
the
strong
time.
there's a strong history of kickboxing and Muay Thai in Holland, isn't there?
Yep.
With Peter Etz and
Peter
Nestor
Arts.
Hoost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome, them guys.
Yep.
Legends.
Yeah, Thai boxing has some more cheeky elbows and all this fucking thing.
Yeah,
It's hard, man.
Trap fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in close range.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
just Muay Thai. Some of the Muay Thai fighters as well are fucking crazy, man.
Muay
I
Yeah,
think-
Thai.
I
You
don't
think
mess
boxing's
with
good, Rory? You should watch Muay Thai. It is crazy.
Muay Thai. Muay.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Like
That's what you do with your
Muy bueno.
fucking cow when you
Muay.
got a little cow tie.
Yeah,
Muay
the
Thai.
Thai guy in the middleweight. I cannot pronounce him.
There's a load of them that are really good. Is it Bork?
Yeah, they have
Borkow
like
or something?
they have like pure fucking Pacquiao. Is it Manny Pacquiao you're talking about?
No, the speech
no,
of
that's
the beat.
boxing.
Borkow. Bork or something.
I think it's Bakau Banchamek.
Yeah, yeah, that's one. Is he the K1 or was it something?
Yeah, the
It's
weight
called.
for that. So it's not the K1, it's the heavyweight, but it was in the same.
It's just called one or something. The tournament they were like, I remember. But he was
That
smashing
guy.
everybody.
Yeah, throwing everybody around. Baku Pramuk, something like that.
Yeah.
Power and precision highlight. I think
It's great. They're not very big, these guys, these TIE fighters, but the fucking what they can do to people is just amazing, mate. It's like they're like superheroes.
Yeah, I'm gonna share that clip to you, Rory.
Which clip? One of your pins?
Yeah. This is the guy, Jimmy.
Look, there.
Yeah, Borkow, that's it. Yeah, that's the guy
Yeah.
I'm on about. Yeah. This guy, I've been watching videos of him today. Yeah, this guy's fucking crazy.
Bam!
I'm fucking dying here. Medic.
Them, and like our Westerners,
Everywhere.
right?
Fucking
Our
help
Western
me.
fighters who would not train the same way, supposed to
No.
deal with those low kicks.
Help me,
How
someone.
are we supposed to take
You
those
gotta
lucky
help
low
me.
kicks like that?
They have pure training camps in Thailand for like Muay Thai boxers. Like UK people to go over and
If you want,
so
yeah, if
big.
you want conditioned yourself though, at the same level that they are, you can't take those kicks. Like normal people would, you'd break your leg.
Oh.
Over there.
Shooting is terrible there.
Scout spotted.
And you know that some of them, like when you go to kick them, they deflect with the knee.
Yeah,
So
they kick into the knee
Yeah.
that you're standing on.
And they can break your shin if you haven't got strong
They'll break
shins.
your fucking knee that you're standing
It's
on.
disgusting.
So if they aim at the one that you're grounded on, then you've only got one leg on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Those
it's like
leg wipes, man. Holy shit.
it's not the kind of sport that like anybody can just jump into. That no way.
Have you get talking about films? Have you watched Man on the Moon?
Is that a fucking David Bowie song or something?
Nope. It's not. It's about a comedian that I need to look into. But hear me out when I say this. But
Oh, Andy Kaufman.
yeah, Jim Carrey plays the guy, and Jim Carrey
Yeah.
like got people worried about how he was getting into character, like you know.
Jim,
I
I
watched
don't
it.
think Jim
I've watched
Carrey's,
it twice, and I watched it the other day with a bird. It's fucking genius, just so
I
genius.
don't. I honestly
You would
don't
love
think,
it.
I like it. I know I've seen it. I really like it.
Just
But
what makes me think that you would like it is because just the way that guy's comedy is portrayed to me in that film is just like it's not comedy, it's just OG trolling. Like
Yeah. Why would you think of me when you think of trolling?
you're a fucking troll.
Am
You're
I
a fucking
a troll?
goblin. You sit under a bridge, you eat Walker's crisps.
Over there. One of their scouts.
Oh, I'm a machine, by the way. I think when I have a couple of cans, I get better.
You level up.
Yeah.
Glaswegian powers come out. The real Rory origin
That
story.
Man on the Moon film, it is epic. It really is. It's pretty gone.
Yeah, I think
So
that
he's still clutching it on to the last.
I think that Jim Carrey is still suffering the side effects of playing them roles in them. I really do. I
He's
think
turned,
he's
he's
turning a
turned,
bit loopy.
turned to art and stuff though. I think he's more of one of those people that like. I mean, it must be a really tough job. I was thinking about this after watching the film. Like, it must be a tough job being a comedian, really. People don't think about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
like you know,
People coming up
fake
to you saying-
laughing all the time. It's like
Yeah.
actually fake laughing. No wonder Jimmy Carr's got that annoying laugh.
Well,
It's just doing
a
it
lot
on
of them are
purpose.
they're on drugs, mate. You have to be on drugs. You really do.
Well, there you go. That's going to worsen the psychological problem.
Yeah, really, really will. You look at a lot of Heath Ledger, you know. Some of the things they do, it damages them forever.
Yeah.
Prep and stuff.
Medic!
Oh shit.
Oh, mate, actually, I'm going to send you something else. This is hilarious.
I'm busting for a pee.
You might actually find this one funny.
It's not gonna make me pee, is it?
Well, it might do, actually.
Shit. I'm loading now.
Enemy are leading now. Don't let them win this.
Your special. Ooh, that's nice. Hold on, I'm gonna watch it after I go to the toilet because I don't want to wee myself. Potentially. Potentially. Boop. Fucking WhatsApp web gives me a notification. Then phone gives me a notification.
Yeah, it's a nipple.
Everything's just like, look at this, look at this.
It's a good point though. What do you know, it's not to know what's had the notification yet. It's just sent out the notification.
Look at you defending it. Defending Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, I just fucked
I'm
up.
here for you.
Because you defended Mark.
Holster, I got
King
you.
of the Zucks.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Why is nobody fucking...
Probably have, mate. They probably have.
You've overtaken the enemy.
But he has cooked everybody because he is fucking making bank on everybody's personal infos.
Right, go for your pee. I hope you're not talking to me while you're peeing.
Right, this is the situation I'm in, right? My bladder is so close to bursting. I have to time it to be able to get up because if I get up now, I'm going to pee. You know what I mean?
Is that what I've got to look forward to as I get to the Gandalf years?
No, it's not to do with age, right? It's because me being a dumbass, not going earlier. So I have to kind of let the tide recede a bit, so that I can get up and not pee myself.
Watch out, danger there.
This comes from hours of ignoring the need to go for a pee, right? That's what it is.
It's nothing greater than the relief of a massive fish.
Oh no,
Especially if it's an outdoor one.
Yeah.
If it's so, well, I can remember the greatest pisses of my life, and they've all been outdoors.
Yeah, because you feel like when the breeze blows, it's like it's extracting
And
all
sprays
the...
it back in your face.
Yeah. Oh no, not like that. No, when it's blowing like towards.
Help me, someone!
No, not towards
You
you,
gotta
but
help me!
away from. It's like it's aiding in the release.
Blood!
Chin is back, chin is back, chin is back, chin is back.
Enemy machine gun over there!
Look at
He's taking a piss on his
Let's
face.
go, Jim!
Probably.
Gotcha,
Half of
James.
our soldiers are gone. Sharpen up.
I know, but oh wait, hello. No, batch, fuck. God damn it.
Hoo-wee! Oh! I feel like I could turn a fucking cartwheel right now. Damn. Somebody nailed me down. I think I'm gonna float away.
Enemy machine
Right,
gun
I can sing
outside
about
you!
them.
What he's in?
Fucked him up.
No, you didn't. Picks.
I'm wounded! Medic!
Or it didn't happen.
They've taken the lead. Take it back.
Your mum's gone.
Fucking dying here, medic!
I've got her iCloud, so no, don't find them. I typed in fat ugly bastard. Sorry.
You missed Gertie.
What are you doing right now? You better be cooking food.
Pouring iron brew.
I love that you love Iron Brew, but you're so fucking racist against Scots. It signifies. Do you know what it signifies?
Enemy are in the lead.
Mental illness. Do you want to talk about it?
What do you mean it signifies mental illness? Fuck you.
See one of their scouts.
It's like the person that was like.
Is it like sleeping with the enemy?
What was that guy that was in prison for like bombing like
I'm fucking dying here.
gay
Medic!
places?
You're gonna compare me to that guy?
He's just like so in denial that he loves what he hates. He has to attack them viciously.
I'm not a Unibomber.
No, not that guy. There's a British guy. British. It's a guy, Dark Paladin. I'm not sure if he's legit or not.
Looking at an enemy medic.
Ass. What are you doing right now?
Enemy have the lead now. Take it from
Just
them.
tighten up.
Go and look at that hangout thing. I've already forgotten, I know.
No, I just can't sit down yet.
Ah, you forgot.
Yeah, Penny, I'm off.
Oh, he's
boy.
back. He's there. He has been here all along.
Yeah, just watching some Bucko action.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch that back out in a minute when I sit down after I watch Rory's meme.
It's not a meme.
We're doing well. We're in the
Okay, the porn video.
It's not a point. Take care, mate.
Bye bye.
Oh, no, wait, oh wait, shit, I think I... Do it.
Danger. Right
Bye
there.
bye.
Bye-bye,
ya.
Felicia.
Bye.
Do it, Felicia. I think actually you may have already seen that. We're just remembering
Yeah, that's one of them medics, all right.
public before.
I'll treat you, pal.
Badge.
Is that in your house?
It's in my room.
How big is it? Is it big or something?
What? The room.
Spider.
Well, 1p coin per scale. Should've got
What
a
was that?
banana, but couldn't find a banana.
To be honest, I thought it was like a jump scare video, so I turned the volume right down. I'm quite vulnerable to those sorts
That's
of
an
videos.
enemy machine gun.
Yeah. It's nothing like that. It was a fucking big spider.
To be honest, if I played that video and wasn't looking at it, I just heard your bird go, "That's huge! What the fuck is it?"
I'm no sleeping now over that.
I know, I helped up and like, oh I. What's going on here? And she's like, get rid of it!
That's disgusting.
How are we gonna get rid of it? Man the parapets!
I'm not gonna lie. So you seen it, and I was like, I had a glass in my hand immediately. And,
I'm not staying near you with that baby. I like how your girlfriend's discussing the in-depth strategies. We need to tire it out! Wear him down, Rory! Man the spears!
Bloody problem over there.
I got a glass, right? And it was next to my chair leg for a moment.
Yeah.
And I handed the girlfriend a light.
Oh shit.
And she's shining the light on it, right? And I had the glass in my hand and I was moving closer and closer and I was just about to get above it. and all of a sudden, like, I don't know where it was in my, you know, in my mind, in your mind, where like, I don't know, in my mind, I like didn't know where the spider was, and I thought I saw it scurrying off
Alright.
right before I captured it. And I'm not gonna lie, I screamed like a little bitch.
I bet your bird were well impressed with that.
She just pissed herself.
Oh,
But like
God.
after I think when I screamed like a little bitch, it moved.
Oh yeah, they feel sound, you know.
Really?
They feel it in the legs, yeah.
Well, I thought it was on me. I was like, rah, 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 moving about, screaming like a
Mm.
bitch. Because I didn't know where it was. I'd lost sight of it. And then all of a sudden it moved from roughly the position it was in. And I just went, thunk. Gotcha.
I think their legs they're like their ears.
Yeah?
I
Oh,
think so.
you're a
They also have
factoid. Do you know that? You're like a better
fully-
version of Alexa.
I'm like a fucking useless cunt, you mean? Yeah, they have hydraulic
Chin,
limbs.
set
as well.
alarm for 10 p.m.
Yeah. Fuck you, Rory.
See? Precisely.
Yeah. Yeah, they have hydraulic limbs. They have to pump blood into the legs to move them. It's kind of weird. They don't have muscles in the legs.
In a way, I think that all muscles are like that in a way. No?
I think ours work off electrical impulses, don't they?
Yeah, but there must be something powering that movement, and it's
Oh
not
yeah, you need blood in your muscles,
electricity.
definitely.
It's,
Yeah, you need
I've always
blood in
thought
them.
about that. Like, what is making my leg do that? It must be blood.
It's twitch fibers in your tendons, isn't it?
Right.
Nerve
Energy
endings,
stored in
but-
the fibers or whatever, right? I
They
get it.
they retract or you know,
Right.
they sort of contract and retract as
Like a pussy.
they get stimulated by the nerve endings in your
That
muscles.
is a big motherfucking spider, you have to admit. Like, I know it's not Australia
big.
spiders, but fuck me, that is a
looks
big
like
fucking
a-
spider.
It looks like a wolf spider. You know what a wolf spider is?
No,
It's the common house spider. It's called a wolf spider.
is it?
Yeah, that's its real name.
Actually, just glad it's not Australia.
I
Otherwise,
actually
I'd,
like. Oh yeah. Well, in England, I think you're allowed to like spiders because they're not dangerous.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be scared of them. It's irrational. That.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not scared of them, but I was scared of that a little bit.
It's just it's a reaction though, isn't it? Really, stuff like that. It's not like necessarily like terror. It's like seeing one when you didn't expect to see it. It's just you can catch you off guard. I've had one of them fall on my face, you know, when I've been in bed.
What?
Yeah, I would like see them. It just fall on my face. Shit happens, man.
That's fucking. It sat on your face or something.
No, it didn't start fucking squatting on my head like fucking porn. Like a Brazzers scene. Fucking Bang Bros.
Sorry, the internets are into me.
Yeah, I know. You had fucking visions of it popping squats on my head like a fucking jackhammer, didn't you?
They are in the lead now. Get back at them.
Yeah, just like splattered on my face.
What was the reason
know.
for you calling me into UKSF last night?
I don't even
Very
remember.
inconvenient, as you can tell.
Last night, no, because you didn't respond, you twat. So you know, it wasn't inconvenient at all. You can't fucking trick me, bitch. Brought yourself
I
into
tried.
there about a day later.
You were paying attention. Yeah, what were you asking though?
I don't know, that's a fucking Sherlock Holmes
You're
mystery,
a
that, because I don't remember what it was. So we were I was talking to them a lot, and then something must have come up where I was like, let me ask that Scottish guy. And
How big
that
his
you weren't
dick
there.
is. And you couldn't
no,
figure out if it was in double figures or triple figures. Do you know, it's a bit weird that like...
You're not useful for much, so I can't imagine what it was.
It's a bit weird that like, you know, I wear UKSF's tags, but constantly in here.
I know, it's a bit of a shame.
Sure they bring it up.
I do, and I make fun of you for it, because I tell them that you're sucking off these guys.
Dad! When I was streaming for a bit, I went in there and people went over there for a bit. Like,
I did not duck you.
I'm gonna say something that might sound a bit big-headed here, but apart from like
Shit.
fruit and
Yeah.
like Frito and okay, no, there's quite a few people from the PRS side, but definitely from the UKSF side who's playing the game. There's nobody else that's like keeping these people. Ducky used to be a UKSF, didn't he?
He still is. He's still in there.
It's not. It's PRS tags now.
His name's in UKSF.
No, it doesn't. In Battlefield, it's PRS.
Well, yeah. I guess he's active tag.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
he's in.
That's
He's
what
in the
it's-
clan though.
So am I.
He is in UKSF. Yeah. I mean, he's
So,
still
so is Stevie Wonder. Doesn't matter.
I didn't know though. I didn't know that you were actually ever in UKSF. Okay.
I did, because I'm not a retard like you.
Shut up, bro. I don't remember because he didn't say much. I don't remember him playing with him. Did he play? He didn't play BF4 though. He said that BF5 was his first game, didn't he?
Did
So
he?
that's why I'm a bit confused. Yeah.
No, he said maybe one.
Maybe
One.
one. Yeah.
One.
Fucking hell. Same
Oh,
difference.
so fucking good at this game, dude.
They're both fucking shitty games. I just don't like BF5. That's all my iron brew gone.
Was that?
My brother spilled some
Do you know which? Did you ever? Were you into Iron Brew before they did the sugar tax stuff?
There's a sugar tax?
Yeah.
I didn't realise I was supposed to be affected by it.
Well, it's changed the recipe of Iron Brew.
Was it?
There's
Oh,
an
it's worth a
original, there's an OG Iron Brew recipe that you get in glass bottles that's got higher content of sugar. It's more expensive and is reserved for true Scottish people and not English kids.
Whatever.
It sounds
Just-
like bullshit.
Whatever.
It sounds like
So you're
bullshit.
telling
but
me
it's
you've got
actually
an
hard
iron
for
brew
me to
license?
get. No, it's actually hard for me to get too. It's like
Alright. Okay, maybe I could believe that then.
they sell it
I'm
at
not-
Christmas usually in the corner shops, being like, "Get this as a last minute Christmas gift."
I'm not happy about fucking Toblerone ice cream not being available in England anymore.
Never had it before.
Just because we left the EU.
Never
No, I mean-
fucking had it before.
Yeah, but
Stop
it was-
asking them to import things that you've never
It's
had
li-
before.
It's listed on Tesco's and Asda, and
You
now it's not
realise
there
right
anymore.
now that you've lived your entire life of 82 years without needing
yeah.
that stuff. So how come you need it now all of a sudden? Look at the shelf life of that stuff. It's not very
Yeah,
long.
but why is it not available to buy here?
It costs money just to keep that shit frozen in the warehouse.
Yeah, so just provide it here. What's the big deal?
Lorry drivers. I take it you've heard how much they're trying to pay lorry drivers.
I mean, you know, I am so proud of the fact that I don't know anything about the news. Because I think ignorance is bliss.
It is fantastic, isn't it?
tell
Anytime
you-
people tell me facts that end me up with
I
me
tell you though-
thinking negative thoughts, I'm always like,
I almost had like a bit of a do with fruit stick, you know, because
you know
it
what?
kind of took me by surprise. You know, fruit stick.
You almost had a dig at him.
No, I almost had a do with him, you know, like about it. Well, not me, but
A dude.
he were getting a bit. Yeah, like he were getting a bit like a bit leery, you know what I mean? Like a bit. It seemed like he were getting a bit upset. And you know what it was about? It was about Trump. It was about Trump. Because he was talking all the shit about Trump, right? Which is mostly true, I guess. But some stuff's not true. And he was repeating stuff that the news keeps saying about Trump. And I'm like, mate, that's not true. If you just read other sources that are not part of the news, you realise that a lot of what they've said about him isn't true. And he thought I was sucking Trump's dick, and I'm like, no, I'm just saying, don't be dumb, don't fall for the bullshit. Like all the shit they're saying about him,
And
it's not all
you
true.
can always tell when somebody doesn't want that, like, devil's
He just seems to
advocate.
really dislike Trump though, and he were like,
So do a lot of people, man. Surely,
But
have
that-
you not?
but to
Have
that
you, have
level,
you,
though,
you've
to
had your head that buried in the sand that you've not realised on the news that people don't like him,
well, I've seen bits of it, and yeah, obviously he's
and
a bit
people are
fucking.
allowed to form an opinion.
But I think
apart
it's- I
from
just
you,
think it's
because
funny,
you've
mate.
had your opinion revoked for being a cunt.
I don't see why it's worth getting that emotional. Just because he's funny. I think he's just funny, and he's not president anymore. So like, what harm is it? You know, he didn't end the world. Biden has done worse in these first few months than Trump ever did. Like, them weapons he left behind. Oh dear,
It's hearts and minds, though, bro. Hearts and
it's
minds.
crazy. He sold them. You know he sold them, don't you?
Hearts and minds.
But like, That's basically the argument I sort of used to get out of the potential like upset that he was aiming for. I just sort of said, well, all politicians are cunts, so none of them are worth
Exactly.
championing, and none of them are good.
None of them are worth talking about in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. I said this is why we shouldn't talk about politics, because nobody's right. Nobody's right. Because none of them are working in your interest.
Apart from Nicholas
No.
Sturgeon.
Whatever. None of them, though. Not Clinton, not fucking Barack Obama, not fucking Trump, and certainly not Joe fucking fondle me leg Biden. He got a bit defensive when I said that Biden was a pedo as well. He didn't like that for some reason. I don't know. I think he's a bit brainwashed in talking politics. So in future, I've wrote down in my little mental notepad. Don't talk
Keep
about
going back to
politics.
politics that probably people
I just think some
don't
people are
care
so.
about as much. Like, it's clear to me from this conversation and from previous ones that you're a little bit like Trumpy, and that's fine.
No, because I'm not really. I'm more like. Okay,
Biden?
so what? No, like I think what it is that Trump. What is the Trump? He's right-wing orientated. So a lot of right-wing politicians
He's
don't
an
get a
asshole,
fair.
and a lot of stuff he says is just
No, let's forget
fairly
Trump.
misogynistic. And
Let's forget Trump. Let's forget Trump. Right. So a lot of right-wing
more.
politicians in America, right? Right. A lot of right-wing politicians in America, they are they don't have a fair crack because of the way the media is run by left-wing politics. You know what I'm saying? Like all the big tech in America, all the media outlets, they're all left-wing ran by corporate heads and CEOs that are all left-wing politics leaning. So if you're a right-wing politician, you will not get favourable covers and interviews on them outlets. It's going to be biased towards you, against you. So none of them are going to look good in the media, which means people like Tripstick who don't think 2 centimetres beyond the newspaper they're holding, they're going to swallow it all, and that's the only thing that annoys me. I don't really care if Trump's good or bad or like that, or it's not intelligent to accept those opinions when it's coming from left-wing politics for left-wing politicians. You know what I mean? It's common sense 101. It's not to do with Trump really. It's like just not being an idiot. It's like people, but I'll give you a perfect example. It's not politically oriented, right?
simple to me that, like, I get that other people are assholes, so you don't see them talking about, like, Benjamin Netanyahu and all the fucking shit that he's been up to or whatever.
It's just that the
common
Trump
to me
thing,
that, like,
the Trump stuff is thrown in. Okay, think about it like this, Rory. How would you know about anything that Trump did, right or wrong, if it weren't for the news?
correct, but the reason that I don't...
So how can you trust it if that's the only source?
Listen, he's an asshole, right? He comes across as more
The
of
only
an
thing
asshole.
you can trust. Only thing
He
you can
comes
trust
across
is.
as more
Let
of
me just tell you. Let me tell you. Let me squeeze it in. Let me squeeze it in.
okay, you've got 2
The
seconds.
only thing you can trust is the things that Trump writes on his Twitter, because he writes that. So if you base
Okay.
it off that, then
Yeah.
you can't argue with. I can't argue with it. So whatever he said on there, if he's being a knobhead, he's a pure knobhead, and I totally agree with it. But that's just why I'm not defending him. Like, it's just don't take what the news say about him,
Yeah.
saying he's a racist and it's like it's not true.
Okay. Right, so, like, it's clear that he's an asshole, that everything he does is just, like, a fucking asshole, and that's what comes through. And most people read that from it. And I don't care. I don't care.
But I just find what they find offensive like that, I find funny, because I think he's blunt and stupid. He's like, I think it's just it's like Bush.
Shouldn't be really, like, dealt with like that.
I just don't understand the animosity behind it, because people get really annoyed and mad about him, and I'm like, he's no different to Bush. He was just as stupid and
Oh god,
dumb.
yeah, I was really fucking annoyed at a
I just-
B grade student becoming president because he's fucking rich.
I just thought it was funny.
Like, a lot of people were prejudiced against Trump before he came, but there's a reason behind that.
Yeah,
He was
he's a
fucking
businessman, and nobody likes businessmen.
I mean, if Alan Sugar fucking became the president, the fucking prime minister, and then started tweeting all this shit and being like really right wing, I think
Yeah, but I don't
probably
think
that's a bad example because England are fucking the ones voting.
I think
UKIP,
people
so-
are a bit too close-minded though when it comes to right-wing politics. I think everybody jumps to racism when it's not always motivated by that. So sometimes it's not. It's motivated by nationalism.
Pure
and that can
understand
definitely
what
be
you're saying there.
confused.
Definitely.
Oh, listen to me.
No, I'm
like-
agreeing with you there. I get that. That's a huge
do you
thing
think
that's
that
happening.
yeah, like there's not wrong with nationalism, like protecting your country. Not necessarily from foreigners that are already here or people that have lived here for generations, but for the ones that are coming in from Afghanistan, for example. You know, like things like that. And if you try and have a dialogue about that, you're a cunt. You're a racist. You can't talk about it. And that's like where politics gets boring. Because you can't have a conversation. That's the problem with politics. You can't talk about it. First rule of politics, don't talk about it. Because someone gets mad. Someone gets mad. Someone takes it out. Someone takes it out of proportion, and you can't have a reasonable conversation. I'm
I
telling
just
you,
get bored of it quick. Really bored of it quick.
Fruit Stick were going to get mad, you know, if I carried on trying to put him straight.
Well,
You're going to get mad.
You should have just respected that he was playing his game and having a drink and didn't want to
No,
talk
he
about
wasn't.
that.
He wasn't playing his game. He wasn't playing his game. He was just talking to me.
Was that?
No,
was this earlier?
No, this was a few days ago. We didn't have a fallout. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want a fallout, but I recognised that he were at that edge, and I pulled away. And I said, "Look, mate, I'm not denying your opinion. I'm not sucking Trump off or out. I'm just saying you should be more careful about accepting where these facts
You enjoy
come
making
from."
people uncomfortable. I'm joking.
I think people make their own selves uncomfortable because I like to just.
I
I
probably
like to
share
talk.
Fruit's view in this.
I
Not
don't-
that I'm
I mean,
choosing sides or anything. I'm just saying that
I
like,
don't-
if,
but you
if
can-
we
you
were
can-
having this
Mate,
conversation,
the more people against me, the better, because it makes my brain work faster. So it's like, I don't really mind. Like, but I know where there is a victory and there isn't one. And you can't argue people's opinions because there's no right or wrong there. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't argue that he's wrong
yes, you
about
can.
his opinion on Trump. I'm just saying that he's wrong about the sources that he's accepting. Like, you can't just accept mainstream media when it's all left wing. It's just not
When you
all
get
accurate.
down to like, I don't know, yeah. Trump has put out a lot of misinformation in his
Look
time,
at-
so that's a rich one. You
But
know?
look at the way
Wanting
that.
to
Look at
fact
the way,
check.
Hold on. Just look at the way. Look at the way, right? Look at the way.
no,
that,
we haven't had time to verify all the sources.
look at the way that that Trump gets slaughtered in media, and everybody knows about it, and all the shit that he does and whatever else. But Biden does some of the nastiest big fuck ups ever, and he don't get talked about. The media don't talk
So
about
what's
it.
your opinion on Afghanistan? Then you think we should be there still?
I think, right, that it might have cost as much or a big portion of what them assets are worth to bring it back. So he thought, I'll sell it instead of bringing it back and paying for fuel and logistics. So I'll sell it to Afghans, and then we'll just go back later and we've got an excuse for another war. That's what I think. It sounds a bit Alex Jones, but it's totally laudable. Because apparently it's been said somewhere in media. I mean, again, I don't know how substantiated it is, but it's interesting it's been said.
It's just the source that you, yeah.
But yeah,
Sounds very
so,
similar to Frit's situation earlier. The source.
What's that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's interesting. That's all. So I'm not saying he's definitely done it. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me, and we'll never know. I mean, let's say he really did sell the weapons onto them. We'll never know for a fact. So it's almost not worth even making the accusation because you can't prove it. So, but let's just say it's a fuck up. But then think about the level of a fuck up that it is. Do you really think America would make that mistake? That's a pretty silly mistake. Like all them billions of dollars worth of weapons. That's a bit of a weird mistake to admit.
I think
to,
in a situation where you've piled, not you, the royal you, has piled trillions of dollars into a country in an unsustainable situation, you're gonna maybe leave $1 billion behind here.
But not in that way though. That's an irresponsible. That's a very bad way.
Maybe I've you've not been watching the news. You say, but you've been researching.
No, I don't.
The inventory in Afghanistan. I didn't realize. So.
No, I'm definitely very cursory. I know you are, but I like to deal with dicks because I've got a mate who's just like you, who talks over you and tries to peck at you while you're talking. I know how this works. I'm familiar with this game. Don't worry about it.
Is he called Chin Whiskers?
I call it pecking. No, it's called James Dixon. It's just like you. What's this? Let's go with this. Yeah, so so I'm familiar with this game. Don't worry about it, right? So, what was I saying about
I don't know. You're
Yeah,
talking
no,
over me.
I admit that. I admit that I don't 100% go deep dive into the news. So I'm willing to be corrected if it's, if there's other information there, factual. But of course, you can't really validate whether or not it's fact or not. You have to use kind of common sense.
I've always
Oh,
considered
shit.
this thing. I'd like to, this
What's
this
that?
statement is irrelevant to everything we've just been talking about for the last 10 minutes, kind of. But I've always considered this fact: every news article is written by somebody who has an agenda. Maybe that reporter,
Look, well,
themselves doesn't have that specific agenda, but their bosses do.
Let's soften the word agenda and say opinion instead.
No agenda.
But opinion is what it boils down to, isn't it? Everybody has an
I
opinion.
guess you could say that, but then there's also the
Opinions
reason
drive
that
agendas.
newspapers
remember?
are kind of putting a lot of the stuff out there is because they want to influence the future, so that's agenda.
Exactly. So unlike Fruit Stick, you've looked at it from.
It's changed from opinion to agenda when you're trying to.
No, but I'm looking at the mechanics of what you just said, the foundation of what you just said there.
Have you?
So the way
It's
you've
in
differed
English,
from Fruit
please.
Stick, where you've differed from Fruit Stick is that you've gone and looked at it from an unemotional standpoint and accepted that using common sense and the only facts that we can deal with right now, because we don't know the facts and what they're presenting. Really. You look at the common sense and you realise, okay, these people have opinions, and them opinions drive agendas, and they have motives. So why would it always be 100% like the truth? Unilaterally, unequivocally, why would it always be empirically true? It wouldn't, would it always be?
Stop using big words. Can you just rewind, because I've been concentrating and trying to...
This is what happens when we debate. When my brain starts working, it normally doesn't work. So, there's always a slant on everything, isn't there? A review for a game, right? Some guy might say, this game's a bag of fucking shit, but it's no good at first-person shooters. If I reviewed FIFA 2022, I'd say it was shit, right? But then I've got my brother, if he reviewed it, it'd be fucking spunking all over it, and there'd be fucking sperm stains all over the screen. Like, there's a slant on everything. And we're not talking about Asians, you racist cunt. You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't even thought of that.
And Fruit Stick don't accept that, but you just did, so that gives me hope for at least one Scottish person. Ooh, that's a nice one.
What?
Ooh, these
It's a burger or something.
you don't play this game, so I can't really tell you, but you just come here.
Go and share your screen. Share your screen. Get your screen out for the lads. Got a computer that's apparently good.
It's all right, it's just a job,
Have you been looking at 3080s recently?
Been looking at what? Serengetis? What? Did you say I've been looking at Yates?
Serengetis.
I don't know what you fucking said.
RTX
Maybe you might have been.
3080s.
Oh, probably. I keep drooling over 3090s. That's what I do.
Yeah. The 40 series. They're
supposed to be announcing
year.
that
This time next year, apparently. So
fuck,
I mean,
fuck the 40 series. Have you heard about the power requirements on them cards? By the way,
that's a good thing.
It's gonna be silly.
No, but
you're gonna get a new power pack.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but there's apparently a theoretical maximum you can push through one processor, and it's 300 watts. Like as in the core of that one processor.
They'll find a way around it.
There's no way. I mean, unless
have you heard about Intel trying to get into the GPU market?
Intel, I'm more interested in what they're trying to do with level 1 cache.
Have you heard about AMD losing market share?
Have you heard about Kylie Jenner and her
huge lady?
I watched a documentary on that tranny.
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a dick he is.
Anyway, Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner, spiritual Bruce. He wouldn't like to call him. I don't know. What about politics again?
Fuse is lit.
Hate politics.
Politics
They're
is just...
about. Oh yeah, the level 1 cache. So
Oh yeah.
the main functions that games needs lots of memory for, like an operating systems can. It's just that fucking response time. I saw a graph that's saying where the delays in compute and a lot of it's from the cache or the CPU. Just doing basic functions.
You've got PC components trying to run two different, more than two.
Yeah.
Like different principles of software use.
At once.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just
exactly.
what you're describing there is just to make the game.
Yeah.
Not only operating system.
But games use the PC one way, and operating system demands that it used to be another way.
I need ammunition.
And they both have to
now.
operate at the same time, and but I think PCs right now, the industry, seems to be trying to move towards making PCs as efficient as consoles are trying to get the system
That's where.
in terms of
well,
unifying
if you
it.
say efficient, then that's performance too. We could hit Moore's law from we can hit Moore's law or whatever from one perspective, but then you could at the same time go back in time and take a little processor from ages ago and say, okay, make this more efficient now with that size nanometer. I don't know. It's the same principle as like, if you make it more efficient from at least from a power sense, then the battery's going to last longer for a start. You get less heat, so you can overclock it more. You can definitely run more clock. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of knock-on domino effects in technology, where one small upgrade could buff everything.
I remember being really frustrated that all the advances in CPU technology were talking about like mobile stuff.
Get ARM technology and shit.
Yeah. But actually, it's like it doesn't slow down the advancement of the high-end gaming stuff, because the more efficient they can make a processor, that they're obviously going to transport that where they can. And I guess the point I want to make is that from the technical point, because I remember like being it's like
Watch your head.
efficiency is performance. But okay, if you were to think about a plane and it's not being efficient and it's burning twice as much fuel to do the same job, as soon as you improve that efficiency, the plane can go twice as far, twice as fast. Maybe not twice as fast, but
so you don't necessarily have to improve the engines.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. So the CPUs don't necessarily have to get more buff if everything else around it that supports the CPU block it.
Yeah, they're like printing the circuit boards with more efficiency on it. It doesn't mean they have to print it small.
Well, if they can print them on thinner boards, that's the heat is easier to dissipate, and then they can run higher clocks, and it all knocks on, I guess.
Yeah, like fuck. Could you imagine like a modern processor at the moment running at like even 8 gig or 9 gig?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Which they don't seem to ever push towards.
No, I think that DeBauer guy is, or whatever his name is.
I guess the laws of thermodynamics are kicking in.
Yeah. Those optical processors.
That's a prime example of how fact is stranger than fiction. Like the laws, the universal laws that govern reality. Most people don't realise how fantastical they are. The things that they enable. If people don't realise how technology works, even the most simplest thing, most people don't know how a cassette tape works or
That's one
a
of the
CD.
machine gunners.
And it's like fucking wizardry when you really learn about it. It's crazy. It really is. It's fascinating.
Maybe Doug
Cars,
next time.
definitely.
Combustion engines, most people just like, well, you put fuel in it and they're so stupid. It's like, mate, if you just sat there for a few hours and listen to a seminar on how these things actually work, your fucking mind would be blown.
What is the objective of this game that you're playing? Just run around these little
It's
islands?
called a roguelike. Well, no, it's got a story to it, actually. You know how roguelike is?
Nope.
I'd be surprised if you don't.
I'm not a teenager, so nope.
It's an old game, Rogue, where the kind of whole point of the game is to go through a series of RNG-based environments, rooms and arenas or whatever, and you get upgrades as you go. And if you die, you start again. But the upgrades are randomized, so your character will be totally different every time you play them, usually, because you get different like upgrades to your weaponry or different weapons, and you know what I mean.
Right.
And in this game, it's themed around the Greek gods. So you play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, and he's trying to escape Tartarus or Hell, Greek Hell, to get to the surface to meet with his mum, to find out where she's gone. And his mum's an Olympian, so you're related to the Olympic gods.
What was his
and
name?
they're all,
Oedipus.
I needed Oedipus earlier, but it's called Zagreus.
It's just the way you said he needed to get to his mum.
Yeah, he's Mamleek.
And then that's definitely Oedipus. Oedipus was the one that wanted to fuck his mum or something, wasn't it?
Trust you, I fucking know that one, you bastard.
Well, it's just when you said he needed to get to his mum.
Yeah, well, he didn't need to, but he wanted to, I guess.
Because he wanted to fuck
So-
her. 'Cause
No, he
his
didn't
name
want
was
to. He wants-
Oedipus.
The story's complicated. It's
Oh,
nothing
wait,
to do
you
with
need a
anybody
piss, not
fucking
Oedipus.
anybody. No, I needed one earlier, not now.
Okay, I think I get it. It's kind of Greek themed. Is that Medusa?
Greek tragedy, basically. Did I just get lightning strike? Oh, baby. Yeah, so... But it's got loads of cool characters in it. It's all well voice acted. The music's awesome. It's just, I mean, if you don't like the visual style and the gameplay, you're never going to like it. As far as this genre of games go, I think this is the best one of its kind ever made. I'm not doubt about it.
Terrific.
But if you don't like these games, then I'm just talking to wind.
Half
Which
of
is
their
me usually
soldiers have
doing
been eliminated. Continue the attack.
At least they appreciate me in UKSF, at least while I'm there anyway, I don't know about when I leave. I could certainly do that.
Honestly.
Hmm?
What?
What are you, bro?
Watch over there!
Ah, this is fucking nonsense. Dickhead.
I went to a restaurant and had chicken, buttermilk, fried chicken, and waffles with maple syrup. And oh man, I could come. Damn, that shit was good.
Are
It's
you like trying to get diabetes?
It's in my ancestry.
Is it diabetes?
Pay attention, here!
It's actually not in my ancestry, diabetes.
Is that?
Lung problems are in my family history. My dad was born with
I see one of their medics!
bronchitis.
Oh dear.
This one of my nephews, he was born with bronchitis.
Enemy soldiers
It's
in
not
the
what
area!
fucking killed him, so I guess it didn't really matter. Like it was just. If your health is larger encounters, it's a bit boring. These are boring. See what I'm doing here? Look, see this.
Uh huh.
So Dionysus, this is the guy you like. He's like the lord of partying and drinking.
Uh huh.
He's the the Greek god of partying and stuff.
Uh huh.
Festivals. So
Uh-huh.
I've picked his like boon. It's called a boon.
Uh huh.
And these are the choices I get, and they give like buffs. You see them like to my character. See
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
But I've got an upgrade on this mirror that enables me to switch them out. Look, this look, boom. So I get different choices. So now I can choose something else.
Oh, definitely the strong drink.
We'll go for. Well, that one's all right, but it causes hangover damage. 9 damage every 0.5 seconds. But lightning strike is Zeus's boon, and that causes lightning to shoot out with my gun and bounce between enemies. So I kind of like that one.
Oh, what should you choose?
I'll go with this one. So a trippy shot lobs a big bomb full of fucking vodka, and it lands on them and makes them all drunk, and they all like stunned and shit. We'll go with that. You like it. Chaos.
Over there!
We've got a chaos well. Now this, you go down there and you bump into the god of chaos, and you get these really good boons.
Very well.
But they have negative effects that you have to deal with for like 3 or 4 rooms. You have to clear like 4 rooms to get rid of it. And I'm probably near the boss, so that would probably fuck me up if I got a really bad one. Let's do it.
Right, going down your big black hole.
Doing a big welly will. Welly well. Really well. So, we could do this for the next 3 encounters, which is basically rooms we're fighting. I'll take 217% more damage from traps.
From
And then
traps?
Yeah, like spikes. No, not transvestites. Not fucking Caitlyn Jenner's. Right? But if I survive these traps, I'll deal 105% more damage from behind, which I know you.
Have a look here!
I think this one. I face 47% more enemies in each room, but I get +1 more cast gem, which means, so you see this here, where he shoots a bomb.
Come on now!
See this gas? Gas, look. So it's all slow and shit.
Uh huh.
Because I've made him stoned, I've drugged him. I've date raped him.
We have nearly secured a victory.
This is like
Is
the
this
date
like
rape.
WASD and clicking?
It's Mark Zuckerberg simulator, what's that?
Lizard Sim. 2022.
This is Epstein Island Simulator.
What's this?
They look like monsters, but they're all really young girls. This is how Epstein sees get women.
Just a moment.
He's an alright guy, him.
Danger, over there.
No, I'd say that back. He's a cunt. I wish he was
It's
still
a good job,
alive
just
so
me.
that he could be.
Good job,
Hung
it's just
again.
me and you in here. I'm sure you'd have upset somebody. You'd have probably upset
Enemy
me.
recon soldier.
Probably fucking Jenny McCann or something.
To be honest, I think Fruitstick might have been drunk today, so that might have explained a lot.
But
Because
you
he was
said
definitely a bit. Huh?
he's
I
drunk a
think he
lot
would
of
a bit
time.
he would a bit unusually combative.
So you said
That's-
the fisticuffs that you had with him was not today.
No, it won't fit. I'm probably making it sound like more of a big deal than it really was, but because I've never had that kind of conversation with
I'm not
Fruitstick, it
taking
stood out.
notes.
It stood out because I've never had that kind of conversation with Fruitstick, is what it is. But it wasn't like a Yengo incident or
Do you know? Okay, if we're gonna go there, I have seen that Fruit's like a lot of the time he's on there. He's like I am now, but in a depressed sense as well. Like just like fuck this, every fucking fag or something like that. I don't know, but whatever. It's not.
Yeah,
Harmful.
it can be a little bit edgy,
No, he's not harmful.
but he's all right. No, I'm not. He's a good guy. You know, it's like Yengo's can be way
one
more
of the
toxic.
fucking sounders.
Yeah, yeah.
Way sounder than you.
Well, yeah, no doubt, undoubtedly. But
And-
Yengo can be a real toxic cunt. But I acknowledge completely that he can be a good guy. He like when he's not playing Battlefield. Whereas Pikey, fuck that guy. I think I would go so far as to say I would punch Pikey in real life. If he tried that attitude on me in real life, I'd punch him. Because I just think he's a cunt. Because there's more malice there with him, you know what I mean? With him, it's not to do with the game, it's to do with him personally.
Just gonna mute
Like-
you a sec.
Shut up, bro.
Mute me.
Mute yourself.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, shit, you didn't mute yourself, you bitch.
First blood to them.
Shit, that got wrecked. Oh, that fucking damage. Sealed with a piss.
Sealed with a loving piss.
How you like?
Yeah, I only unmuted myself for a sec there. I was
The
taking
enemy
like
has
a
the
long,
lead now. Take it from
long
them.
golden stream. It was great.
Destroy
I
all
heard
enemy
no
Sponsored by.
forces.
No, you didn't.
Ed. You didn't mute that quick.
We're in the lead now, soldiers.
My last beer.
I'm gonna post Bob's upgrade tomorrow.
Sounds like it's gonna be like African upgrade.
Well, a thingy was saying, Lines was saying that he's been out of work for a while because of COVID and all that shit, so he's
Shit.
not been able to add any money to do any upgrades or all, and I think he wants to play that new Battlefield.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we can't be doing this.
Yeah.
And
Who knows, though? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it? When you I could contribute my own hardware to sell just for the cause of.
well, I'm just gonna give him it because it's not like
No,
that modern.
I wouldn't be selling it to make money off it. I'm just saying, like, obviously the bits I've said I've got aren't useful, but I do have a motherboard here that's fairly. No, it's like 7 years old.
He won't need that though because he's got this one I'm giving him.
Ah, but
Did I, did,
30
I,
quid
did,
for
I,
some.
did I show you what it is I'm giving him?
Your dick.
Möchte vorhin Acht!
No, bro. Look at UKSF channel, general chat.
I'm in a game.
Oh,
I'll look at it after this game because I'm not gonna be here. Then. Go on, more.
Da! Das ist ein
yeah, hold on. There's no in between zoom levels. I guess that.
Hier ein ihrer Sanitäter.
Is it easier on your phone?
What? Yeah, got my phone here.
Einer ihrer Sturmsoldaten.
That's what I'm
Seht
sending
ihr ihn?
in the box. You can zoom in with your pinchy fingers.
Seid wachsam! Seht ihr das? Ganz klar. Dort müsst ihr vorsichtig sein.
That's piss. Oh shit, I forgot to. Oh god.
Figure out how to use your phone.
No, I forgot to reply to your girlfriend hours ago.
Oh, you turnip. You're in trouble now.
Let me read hers first. She's got just getting them din-dins.
Just blame it on me. Say that charismatic English person would distract me. She's still awake.
Look what she just sent. Look what she just sent me. That's quite cute. I like that. Wait, what you showing me in your picture? Is that what you're posting?
Yeah.
Well, that looks far more modern and advanced than anything else. Blah.
Yeah, it's got a cooler master all-in-one liquid cooler with radio.
Da, ein
Good guy.
Sturmsoldat. Seht ihr ihn?
16 gig RAM.
Good
Cost
guy.
save
DDR4.
engines. I think so. It's cost save engines RAM that.
Could be DDR4. What's the socket?
It's
Da bist du ja wieder.
1155.
Could be DDR3. Isn't that cross
Yeah.
ramage? I think.
Hey.
Zum
Yeah,
Glück
because
It's
1155's been around for ages, the man. Like,
Yeah. Still around now.
yeah, exactly. I had an 1155, and that's what you just bought, which is like ridiculous. I don't mean that in the
Yeah.
wrong way. I just mean that. Hey, mate.
Well, only the 11 series, 11th gen Intel use a different one, I think. They used the 20.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I'm wrong. Right.
So the 10th gen probably still uses 1155.
That looks some really modern shit though. Like in terms of like,
It's nice.
good on you for offering that up to him and like.
It's a gigabyte motherboard. It's a nice motherboard. Yeah, I mean,
What's the graphics card situation there? Is he gonna save up as much as he can to sort that?
I think Lines might be giving him a brand new 970, unopened. So I think he's going
To
to be.
possess a brand new unopened 970 in a GPU shortage and then
Pretty
sell
crazy.
it now is it's like cerebral palsy.
Is it?
I don't know.
Einer ist schwer. Da drüben.
Oh, yeah, should have sorted him
Yeah, nice one.
Das ist gefährlich.
out. I do what I can, you know. If it were you know, I'd laugh. But you know.
I don't need your charity.
Finished half of them. Let's do the rest.
It's funny though, like there must be some kind of like black market for like dope ass chips that aren't out yet. You trying to tell me that like some millionaire that's not like obsessed with computers doesn't have some little deal with like, it's like yachts or something like that. If like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's like, okay, put it this way. If you were a narrow-minded person and you won the lottery, then you would go down to Curry's and buy the best processors available
Einer ihrer verfluchten
on
Sturmsoldaten.
Amazon, or you'd Google what the best processor that's available on the general market. There must be some other kind of market. There must be.
You mean for unreleased technologies? Well, I don't think they would. And not the people who, unless it was stolen. You mean? Is that what you mean? Stolen technologies?
No, not particularly stolen. I just mean like, I don't know.
I couldn't imagine a big conglomerate
Actually, no, yeah, you're
selling, legitimately selling like So, like, say, taking for example, Intel's new 12th gen CPU's coming out. It's meant to be the beast of all CPUs. It makes the 5950 look like a...
Is it the same socket as yours?
No.
Oh.
It's like 7 nanometer or some shit. It's going really thin.
Oh, I heard about this, but
In-
7
basically,
nanometers
Intel are catching
AMD
up,
thing
basically.
already, so suck my dick.
Yeah, Intel are catching up on it, but Intel are wiping their nutsacks all over it, AMD with this one.
Yeah, it's probably way more efficient.
Yeah, so...
Seht ihr das?
But that, so something like that is like, that's on the way, and that's going to be a different socket.
Oh.
But it wouldn't behoove Intel to sell that to some billionaire just because he were paying a lot of money, because that, what would that represent in terms of potentially lost sales if he leaked that to somebody or gave it away?
I get what you're saying actually, because when I think about it as well, it's like, have you heard about the R&D budgets?
I know that only certain
the financial financial noose around a company's neck that's developing new technology in the processing area definitely is probably too
I think
tight.
there's only 2 companies that are going to be able to continue making next gen CPUs. I think, and AMD's not one of them. I think it's like Intel and another one like.
Do you reckon AMD aren't one of them?
No, this is only what I've read.
CPUs.
Yeah, CPU, yeah. Because
If they have another bad blow like they've had before, then yeah, I totally get that. Like they've had a comeback, like your mum.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's some. I mean, they might have made a lot of money recently, but well, I read this probably about a year ago. But it was something to do with Intel and like either IBM or like Samsung, or it was some other company that I couldn't remember. But there's basically 2 corporations that are going to have the budget to be able to keep doing CPUs, new ones, when it gets to a certain point. That is. So we might not be there yet. But, it's definitely coming.
It requires a research and development budget that's higher than the sort of like, even in Intel or AMD's side, an already established company. Like higher than they currently can guarantee.
Yeah. But the thing is in order to, once we reach the limit, you know, is it Moore's law or whatever? Once the limit's reached and quantum tunneling becomes a problem, I think the one way out of it that they could counteract it, which I don't know if they'll bother doing.
Keine Munition mehr.
So we must go on the job, maybe. Asteroid tethering. If they could drag an asteroid close to Earth and mine it, the amount of rare earth minerals and metals on them asteroids is supposed to be mind-boggling. But it would destabilise the economy in the world.
Komm, ich krieg dich wieder hin.
And what's that going to do to increase my frame rate?
Technology, yeah, because of the metals that are involved. These chips that they're making.
Alright, I'll just get a rock up there now.
Honestly, all this high-end technology would become cheap. All the really expensive like guidance computers in missiles and shit would become trivial. It would be a big. I wasn't even paying attention to what we're doing there. It would destabilise the world hugely if they managed to drag one of them asteroids within range of Earth and mined it. Whoever got hold of that shit on there could collapse the world economy with it, because they would make everything too cheap, and the gold would be totally losing value.
So they would stabilise that by, you know. Oh right,
Yeah.
okay, platinum.
Yeah,
There's
it's not
infinite
just gold.
platinum. Okay, gold. There's infinite gold. Okay. Well,
It would end up where like copper would be more, or aluminium might be more
They
valuable.
wouldn't base currency on that anymore. They'd base it on trees.
Well, it'd be on bottle
Or
caps, yeah.
something like that might do something good for the country, for the world.
Well, yeah, to some extent, but you know how the world is. The greed is fuck.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't go down that well, I think, unless they're ready for it, unless they've planned for it. But
I think like if you were to like be like, okay, we've got an asteroid, we can do it. We've got all the technology, we've got the fuel, it's ready to go. Unless it was somebody who already had the money, if you were to be justifying it, I don't know. What I'm thinking about here is like telling somebody that we can have infinite platinum, infinite this, okay, we're going to make loads of money off of that. But what is it going to achieve for...
Well, okay, so at the moment, there's...
I think my answer to my own question is like faster computers and stuff like that, like gold.
There's another side to this, so there's another facet, right? So you know how earlier I was saying about how most simple technologies that we take for granted, most people don't understand how they work fundamentally. And if they knew, it'd break the brains. Well, there's another side to the world of technology, not just faster PPUs and and cheaper prices. There's a lot of technologies that are quite rare that the public will never get their hands on, that the military uses and stuff. And they're rare because the metals and the ores that are involved in making those things are so rare. They don't make a ton of them, right?
Yeah, they just make tiny amount, right? Okay.
If you made those things more abundant, you would then allow that technology to not only be more mainstream, but they could be a bit more experimental with what they could achieve with it. So it's like, imagine if like, I don't know, there were a metal that we had that could make the fastest CPUs in the world. Because you could only make 10 of them, they go in like in landing rovers for Mars, or they go in, you know what I mean? So we never know just how good they are. But imagine if they mined an asteroid and then there were enough of it to make one of these chips that went in every phone in the world. And then you'd have a mobile phone that would kick the ass off any gaming PC. You know, like it's that kind of thing that we don't know yet. That we won't know until the reserves of these minerals and metals becomes greater. And we might never know if they don't change that. There could be a metal out there that's not on the, or a mineral or an ore or whatever, that's not on the periodic table yet, that we don't know about. Totally possible. That could do who knows what. Who knows what it could do. That's the exciting shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, something like that could push AI into a useful thing rather than a gimmick.
Yeah. It's like quantum computing, you know, like, they're trying to figure out how to apply it, you know, in like, you can't really apply it in a lot of computational methods and stuff. It has a set use at the moment. But when they figure it out and they figure a way of using it, that could be really exciting as well.
I just got a assist counts as kill off some poor sniper that was like a kilometre away. He must have felt abused. I want a faster processor, I want all this stuff, but I was like, you know, I'm pausing because I'm surrounded by people. And I died. To rank 2. I died to rank 2. The highest rank on their team is rank 23. I'm not even kidding.
Clearly Smurfs are cheaters.
I don't think something like that's going to happen soon though. Maybe within our lifetime something like that will happen, but I don't know. It's not going to be the biggest curveball. The biggest curveball, hopefully, the best I can hope for, is the collapse of the financial system as we know it.
Well, that apparently there's, I guess they call it a conspiracy theory, but apparently there's a lot to substantiate that it might not just be a conspiracy. It's, that's supposed to be in the works, that.
What?
Like, they're actively trying to destabilize the world's currency so they can bring in universal currencies and get everybody on the same digital currency so that every transaction is traceable. Cash no longer exists.
Yeah. It's a fact I heard before that I haven't heard shared a lot. If somebody owns more than 50% of a blockchain currency, they can trace all of it. Don't know if that's the case for all of them, but like for something like Bitcoin, that's, you're talking trillions. Like the government isn't going to fork that out at the moment for traceable everything, but definitely something they wouldn't feature. If that was the case.
Yeah.
I mean, see, when I talk about that mining, right, I've got nothing spare in my really, like, at the end of the month disposable income that I can invest. But I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. If I settled down a bit more, I'd probably have a better situation, but I like being free. Wow. And fucking your mum. So,
Alright.
but because of that, because I don't have anything else to invest, if I invest that shit, I get really interested in it now, and man, like, since I started, it's double. I'm not even exaggerating. In value.
Yeah, well, I told you, we probably got on really well with my older brother. He's like chalk and cheese with me. He's like, he talks slower. He's into his Ethereum and all that shit.
I know the idea of asking people to do this with their money is stupid, but isn't it? Hindsight is great. You think, oh god, if I just put all my money in that now, and then kind of creates this lag time in your head where you're just like, well, I am going to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it carries on. I think it will. I mean, Bitcoin's gone up to 46 grand, and a lot of people are as interested in Ethereum as they are Bitcoin. So I think Ethereum will go up to 46 grand or something. 50 grand, 25 times what it is now. Honestly. Swear down.
Yeah, good dude.
Like, people that used to mine Bitcoin in their old Battlefield 4 style graphics cards, if they invested all their money and kept their Bitcoin, they'd probably be sitting on $20,000. In my estimation.
What are you telling me the story about somebody you made?
Somebody, do you remember Johnny B&L?
Aufpassen!
Yeah.
He was talking to me a lot about that, and he sent me messages on Facebook a while back, being like, "Oh, invest this, do that," and I definitely didn't have any money back then, but he was investing like grand here, grand there, and he made a fuck ton of money. By the sounds of it, he bought himself a really nice Mercedes. I'm sure he bought other things, but
that's that money goes to money, isn't it? Like, you can make a lot of money if you have a lot of money.
yeah, I'm sure
like,
he didn't just buy the Mercedes though. I'm sure he did other things. Yeah, he sounds like really fucking smart. Like,
give me some ideas.
Do you remember what his job was?
Yeah. I only know you were gay.
It's a refuse collector.
Oh wait, that does ring a bell.
I mean, it might be more than that now, but fair fox to him, eh? Like, apparently he was talking to me on Discord a while ago. He was saying a lot of his colleagues at the time that he was telling them about what he was doing with his spare money were calling him a fucking idiot and all this, and like it upset him and all this. Like he made, I think I remember that from the conversation. It upset him. Like, kind of thing, how they were, the way they were going about telling him he was wrong, or something like this.
Yeah, I can understand somebody being skeptical, but you don't need to get nasty about it. Like,
and,
you at least have to have the grace to be like, okay, if somebody's put thousands of pounds into something, they might be feeling a bit cautious and anxious themselves about it. So I wouldn't want to make somebody feel worse about it.
So I don't know if you remember how he was, kind of thing, but he wasn't the most confident person. You know, if
I got on really well with Johnny. He was a good guy.
Oh, me too. I thought he was great.
You know, I'll tell you something now for a fact,
think it's
right?
beautifully poetic if he made a fuck ton of money out of something that his colleagues were taking the piss out of him for when he's not a confident person. That's a huge confidence booster.
Yeah, definitely. No, more power to him. Is that you were a good fella.
Yeah.
You were a good lad.
More power to him.
Yeah, I'd never had a problem with Johnny. What a good lad, like. But you see, I typically don't have a problem with people.
Because you get.
No, bro. I tell you something now.
Why is it keep ticking up from 3 hours in the top right? Like,
Oh, it's
is
not
that the
3
total
hours,
time?
It's minutes.
Oh.
So it pauses
is.
when you're in
Yeah,
menus
so
and
it is.
stuff.
So it is.
Have reduced their numbers by half.
Ah, vagina.
I wonder how many of the old guys will come back, if any. I wonder if Smokey will come back. Oh, you know, Bob told me the full story about Dragonite, you know.
Go on.
Did you know about you must have been here, must
Go on.
Do you know it? Do you know what happened? What happened with it?
No. All I remember is him being a person that was in the clan, and then I sold my PC and fucked off.
Yeah, you weirdo. You would do it
Yeah, I needed to.
for the fangina.
Yeah. Nah, I sold. Do you know what it was? Is I had a bit of debt, and I was like, right, fuck it, sell it, get rid of the debt, reset, go out, have some parties.
No, I mean, it's fair play, isn't it? Like it's.
Had a great time.
I've done that. You know, I'm in my 40s now. I've done that. I could totally say it's worth doing. It's character building. Some interesting stuff. Sleep in a car park. Yeah, whatever.
Go on then. What was the story? Alamori.
Dragonite.
Gather around, shout.
Let's sit down and grab some milk and
Toast some
cookies.
marsh.
Yeah. Some s'mores.
Da drüben.
Aye.
Verdammt,
Oh, that's posh.
Ich bin getroffen. Hilfe!
Yeah, so Dragonite. So apparently, Dragonite, with the admin wanting somehow he got made the admin.
That was a while ago. Like,
Yeah,
I think I might. Right, carry on.
yeah. So he was the admin wanted. That would like not news or anything. He just had admin rights, and he was like in IT. He was like a student learning like IT and stuff. So I don't really know how he got that position, but he got to be admin. And apparently Bob it was, you know, the Scouser Bob, or Ben he's called in real life. He was saying that this Dragonite was taking liberties, pissing about with settings and changing channels and channel names.
This
and
feels like
deleting
old news.
It is old news probably. You might not know. I wasn't around when this
This
happened.
feels like he got. Well, I knew he got booted out for being a cunt or something, pissing
yeah,
about with admin stuff, but
That's not just what it was apparently.
Aufpassen!
There's a
Da
bit
ist
more to
Gefahr!
it. So let's skip that bit about him abusing his admin rights.
okay,
Right?
okay, sorry.
He got bollocks for that, and so
I
apparently
apologise.
Smokey got mad with him, right? Really mad. And he got warned because he did something on website that they didn't like as well. So then apparently they started to get some more members in who were female. This is where I think they got a bit weird. And that fucking dragon was being weird with them. Apparently they were messaging him privately and asking him questions and being leery with him and, you know, being a bit, you know, a bit fucking greasy. And the lasses didn't like it, and they complained about him, and then they left. So they lost the few female members because of Dragonite. So then that Bob Ben pulled him to one side and said, you know, what the fuck's your problem, blah blah blah. And apparently he sort of opened up and said, oh well, I'm a bit of a lone. I've got no mates in real life. I struggle to talk to people. I've got no confidence, and you know, I don't often get to speak to women. And it were like TMI basically. And I don't know, at that point, Bob just said, we just got rid of him because he was weird.
Yeah. That's fucked. I never knew that second part. That's really fucked.
Habt ihr das gesehen?
Yeah, so he had a lot of
Vorsichtig.
like issues and stuff with his, you know, confidence levels and stuff.
We all do at times in our lives. It's just how you manifest them.
I mean, if
you
you're not
manifest
me,
them.
if you're not me, I suppose you might have a lot of problems, but you know, that's how the cookie crumbles, I suppose.
Can't all be perfect.
Yeah, you know, or at least as near as damn it, you know, as they say in the
Verdammt! Ein Sturmsoldat! Da drüben!
Do you reckon he'll show his face again one day, like Young?
I spoke to Dragonite and didn't know about all this, and he seemed normal, I guess.
Hier kommt da vorne!
Trying to groom you.
But he didn't make no effort to like keep in, you know, contact.
Trying to groom you.
Yeah, oh yeah, probably. Trying to get me undies.
Da drüben! Verdammt
But
gefährlich!
yeah, obviously, maybe he were aware that about what had gone on, and obviously, and he was wondering whether or not I knew or not. I think. So it's like, oh, if you keep talking, he's going to find out. Yeah, a bit of a weird one. I didn't know that it was being weird and being Larry and lechy.
Very weird, and it's a bit of a shame, not in terms of like, just in terms of like the opportunity to have a bit of diversity.
Yeah.
You know what it's like when
not-
a girl comes on. Like I know it's not like Mildcat or whatever, or when.
Yeah, it does open up a little bit about people like men in always tend to
You ever watch
get a little bit weird around
Soviet
women.
Soviet
Huh?
Womble? You know that guy? Soviet Womble and Cyanide.
Are they members?
No, they're a couple of famous streamers, like really famous streamers, but
I don't know him, no.
they went a bit weird with their like they put on their videos where it was like really sexual, like overly sexual. They're still popular, they haven't been ruined by this, but it's just like overly sexual all the time.
Feindlich.
I don't know, maybe that's a symptom of gaming, but
You know what, actually, it's funny. My
It's a
younger
shame.
brother came round earlier, right? And my younger brother relayed a couple of tales to me that made him appreciate
Ich werfe eine
what
Granate.
women have to go through with men falling over him.
yeah.
Right, so he's a taxi driver, right? And he gets a lot of women in his taxis. Sometimes have problems.
Ein
One of them
Fremdpistolsoldat.
were being beaten up by her husband. Right, she had black eyes and she was crying in his taxi. So he pulled over and he was talking. He was saying, look, you know, if you ever need to talk to her, just ring up the base.
Pistolsoldat. Gleich da drüben.
Blah blah blah. You can get away from your husband. You know what I mean? So he's being nice to her. And then she starts asking for his phone number and everything, and maybe I can speak to you when you're not a taxi driver. And he's like, he wasn't interested. You know what I mean? But he gets that a lot off women because he's not a bad looking lad. And but he unsettles him because he didn't expect it. Because he's like, I'm just trying to be nice to him. And they're coming on to me, and he doesn't expect it. So it's like, it's weird. It's like that's how women. When a woman's nice to a guy or she's friendly with him, men always take it the wrong way, don't they? Like, oh, she likes him, she's into him. And it's not always true. And most lads, males online especially, don't know how to deal with women. They don't know how to talk to them. You talk to them like you talk to anybody else. That's all you do. And then you
I
draw
honestly
out
think-
humour in the conversation.
Any male, right, which could be absolutely anybody that does anything. It could be your mate at work, it could be your mate you game with, it could be any male that hasn't had a decent amount of fucking female contact that's straight, that like, I don't know, they just turn into like, yeah, and that's what you're that's what you're saying with your you know, the examples that your friend tells you. I've not been privy to it. I've definitely been a bit. I think it's something as a guy that only comes with older age, a bit like just realizing fucking how creepy guys are.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't want to go all like over the top and get aggressive about it like SJW is doing, like men are pigs and all that lot. But it is, you know, you can casually notice it. If you imagine what it'd be like to be a woman and they're always whistling at you, and always saying stuff, you can imagine it'd be annoying. Because you think, oh, it's flattering, but not when it's every fucking minute of every day. It'd piss you off. And we just have to deal with that, you know, because it's not how it works. Women don't fiend over men like that most of the time. Unless they're a bit fucking fucked in the head. Or, you know, they haven't had any contacts. Because you do get women like... I've got an old mate whose bird's like that. Whenever she's in a room with somebody who's a bloke, and their boyfriend's not there, she's all over you. And I mean, it could be anybody. She's a fiend. But it's rare, that's rare, that. And the thing is women get away with that as well. They can behave like that, men can't. You just get fucked for it. Have you seen that story on news? I saw it on YouTube, I don't know how old the story is. There was a bald guy somewhere in a substation somewhere in England, it might have been in the south, right? And he walked past a woman, he had a bag on his shoulder. He had his hand on his strap on his pack. And I think he either had his hand in his pocket or he had it on a phone or something. And he walked past a woman, right? That woman rang police and accused him of fondling her in public or rape or something, right? He got prosecuted. They were going to send him to prison for 3 years, but then he got overturned in court within 90 minutes and he got let free, right? And he demanded an apology and he wanted to know why it ever went to court. Now he got the media involved and they managed to get the CCTV footage, And on the CCTV footage, right, they showed you it, and an expert analysed it, and he walked past that woman, right, and the period of time where he were next to that woman was 0.5 seconds, and she accused him of rape in that 0.5 seconds, and he had his hand on his back and his hand on his phone or something. He couldn't even touch her if he wanted to. And he's like, why did this even go to court?
Yeah.
That's the power that women have over men. That.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if a woman was to be vindictful and
I'm not
Try-
saying it happens
try-
all the time.
no, exactly. That's
But
where
if
I
it
was trying
does,
to go with it. Like,
yeah, but
well,
that's the obvious. That's the obvious defence. Oh well, you can't say out about that because then if you start looking at women too closely when they're accused of rape,
Right. Well,
then everybody says that. Everybody says that.
flip the coin on the other side. Women are walking about, not sure if they're gonna get bummed in.
No,
the
no, no.
Like,
that's
here. I'm a
that's the
tall guy.
prominent. No,
I'm a
no, that's the prominent.
Shut up. I'm a tall guy,
Listen to
right?
me. That's the prominent side of the coin that everybody knows about.
I'm a tall guy, and when I'm
Talking
walking
about
home
the
at
men.
night, I feel bad when I'm walking behind somebody, and it's that thing where, like, I might
Mate,
want to overtake them because they're worried about the person behind them. I'm like,
Mate,
I just think about what girls feel like in that moment, like, you know.
It's not, but to flip the coin, right? It's to look from the men's perspective because everybody always looks at the women's perspective, which is they feel vulnerable, yada yada blah. Yeah, we get that, but if a guy's done nothing wrong,
Said 4 minutes ago how much of a creep guys are.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, and it can be true, but not everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Add
are you
in
a
too
creep?
much
Am I a
drink
creep?
or drugs.
Hey?
Add in too much drink or drugs, and then it becomes another story. It becomes fucking that rate's probably gonna.
But then women get. Have you seen how leery women get when they've had a drink? Shit. They're like Jekyll and Hyde.
Right. Okay. So to kind of agree with you, there's that whole waking up fuzzy the next day. Did I get raped?
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny one. Not funny, but kind of bad. There were another one that I'd seen on a news thing on YouTube. An Indian, he's not Indian, but he's an American. He had an Indian complexion, right? He was a university student, right? And he were out in a nightclub. There was CCTV footage of everything that happened all night. And this other Indian student were obsessed with him. She fucking wanted his fucking sausage in her fucking sandwich. Right, yeah. And she was slobbering all over him, and he was kind of like a little bit sort of chilled out, like a bit overwhelmed. But he were letting it happen because he's a guy, like you do. And she were all over him, and then when it went outside, there were her and a friend and this Indian girl, and she were like behind his back. She were making the old, finger in the old gesture, like I'm gonna fuck this guy, right? And then they got in taxi. They went to the dorm, university dorm, legal age and everything. They had sex, right? And then the next day, her friend reported it as rape to the police. Not her. Her friend reported it, right? And the friend said no and denied the charge. The police still convicted him, and he got thrown out of university.
I heard about that one, but it's a very extreme example again. So overruled, isn't it?
But it's more common than you think.
Oh yeah, to be fair, well, probably. But
It's just that it doesn't ever get to.
so
Because I'll tell you about. Do you know why?
so is your mum.
It doesn't get in the news because of the exact thing that you did there, where you automatically defended women. Because if they start to put that thing in the news too much, then women get discredited for rape allegations more often, and then women don't get believed as much for rape allegations, and then more women get raped and they get away with it. But it swings and roundabouts, because if you don't report on false allegations more, then more men get abused, and more men are getting abused.
When I'm in president of the world, I'm gonna put you in charge of this stuff.
But do you see how difficult it is to have a debate about these simple topics with certain people when they just...
They're not simple topics, they're very complicated.
They jump to the same...
You are going to the most complicated ethical issues that you could dream of.
People always jump to the same obvious, low-hanging fruit, lowbrow opinion. Always the same thing, always the same thing. Nobody wants to think differently and think a bit more outside the box.
Your mum.
At all. It's the same boring opinions. You can't talk about anything because people get aggressive and then they get upset and they start shouting at you and talking over you. It's just silly. It really is. There's always more than one side of these things.
It's 5
But anyway,
sides.
back to Dragon anyway. Which that whole dragon thing, just like the fact that he was being a pervert, that was just so weird.
I would like to share a fact that I'm not proud with.
Go on.
I used to work in a, well, it's not really my fault
I bet we've
or
all
anything
done
I should feel bad about, but
Ihr müsst vorsichtig sein.
I worked in F&B, I mentioned it before, and there's that PSS or like bars and stuff. I employed a paedophile before. A certified straight up paedophile.
You
By
knew
accident.
it was. Oh,
Well, no, it turns out he was a paedophile later. I wasn't to know, to be fair. But I could send you the link, I think I maybe have before. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude's a straight up pedo. With like horrific images of children getting abused.
Crazy fuckers, man. Although, again, not playing devil's advocate, but have you heard about people? Here's a bad one. There were an incident.
Here we go. Buckle up.
This is the outlier again. I'll admit this is the outlier. The rape allegation thing is almost like 70-30, but this is like pretty rare. So somebody climbed over a school fence drunk and had a piss in the yard, and they were caught by like
Sex offender register.
Register on sex offender. That's a bit bad. When the school's
You hear about
closed,
that in America?
yeah, that's pretty bad. That because it's like you were drunk. The school wasn't open. Blah blah blah. But
Yeah. Little Sally's mouth wasn't even that close to your dick.
no, I mean it would like midnight and shit or beyond. You know what I mean? It's not like anybody's there. It's a bit there should be different categories.
I think with something like that, you should get a yellow card.
He goes to get this though. He goes to prison,
Uh-huh.
and then the inmates are like, "So what are you in for?" You know, rubbing tattoos on their arms, and he's like, next topic, please." You know what I mean? Because they'll find out, off Screws or somebody, that he's on sex offenders register, and really all he did was take a piss in an empty schoolyard at midnight, and they're gonna bash the fuck out of his back door for that. And that's not justice. Again, that's another conversation that you couldn't have, because most people, as soon as I said he had a piss in the schoolyard, oh, well, you can't fucking do that, you fucking should know. No, there's no fucking excuse. No. Yeah, but it was 3 AM, he was drunk and nobody was there. Oh, well, stuff don't matter, it's fucking matter. Fucking kids, you said schoolyard, yeah, schoolyard, no, it's not on his that. Like, oh, yeah. Sit down and get up. Just idiots, it's like that mob mentality. It's the virtue signalling. Get on your soapbox because everybody else is.
Piss.
Use your own brain. Use your own brain. Because you don't know one day when you might be in that same situation. Because we all do dumb shit when you've been out on a night drinking and you just wandered off somewhere. And you have a piss and you don't realise you've just done it through bars of a schoolyard. You know what I mean? Whoops!
I don't think there's a problem here. I don't think there's a problem here. That never happened here.
But you could do it, you never know.
Like maybe in Puerto Rico, or in America, or one of these third world countries.
You could walk along and there might be a school, like, okay, for example, where I'm moving to up road, right? There's a snicket next to where I live. You go through that snicket and there's a main road. Right over that main road is a middle school. And if you go down this road,
She got to take a piss there sometime.
Listen, right? Down this main road, if you go down it, on the other end of it is a first school. Right? What if I were out with a pub with my brother when he comes over on next weekend?
Uh-huh.
And we go out and pub, right? And we walk home drunk because we just can't be asked to get a taxi for whatever.
You've made your point.
You see what I mean? It could happen, couldn't it? A security guard catches you, full beams on your dick end, gets on his walkie-talkie.
Doesn't happen here.
What are you telling me that if you were caught having a piss through bars of a schoolyard, that you wouldn't get fucked for that?
As long as it wasn't fucking broad daylight, yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
This isn't fucking
Is that Yankland,
Afghanistan.
is it? Well, somebody's been convicted of it. I think it must have been American.
Yeah, no, I heard about that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But still, though, like, yeah, I mean, we're not in America, I guess, which is, a good thing, but it's still fucked up.
Oh, sorry, I just died.
Oh, shit.
There's a couple of times I was definitely playing Oblivion NPCs in that game.
What were you playing? Oh, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that game to go away. Go away, game, go away. Because I'm like, right now, I feel like I'm the enemy of everybody in Discord. Because I'm coming in just disrupting.
Are you going to play the game?
Fuck you, I'm gonna fucking play more than you, bitch.
For how long?
I don't know until I get annoyed. No, I mean, if it's dog shit, then yeah, it's going to affect my ability to enjoy it. But if it's better, okay, it doesn't even have to be better. I know it's going to be better. Do you know how many big name YouTubers, right, kind of fell out with DICE because of BF5 because it was shit? Like Westy and everybody, they got deleted out of the inner blowjob circle with DICE. Like they're no longer like fucking bum boys because they wouldn't play ball and suck BF5's dick. So they like kind of left it and stopped being part of their little marketing team because it was dog shit and they hated it. But I don't know. You guys have got more resolve than I do. I just can't put myself through it. This boss is pissing me off because this gun's shit. Actually, it's not shit. It's fucking really good damage. Actually, it's modern military. It's got to be better, Rory. It has to be. It's against the law for it not to be. Why is that thing not damageable? You know what I mean? It can't fail. I'll tell you what, it really does give me 2142 vibes when I play it. I'll tell you what could be fun though. Although I think what will probably diminish the experience a bit, which is probably what diminishes BF5 quite a lot, is squad sizes. You know what I mean? Are you alive? Are you passed out?
Nope. Just had a pee. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to playing with some of these talented players we've got here and getting in a good squad and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do that, but I just can't do it in BF5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not able to keep up with you all and contribute. I'm just going to be useless. But that'll be different in 2042. You're going to see a different side of me.